this time, I've been feeling hopeless till you came around, came around. All this time, you're the only reason I'm not chasing highs, chasing highs. What is love? Lately I've been wondering just what is love, what is love? I don't know, no one ever showed me. I've been on my own for too long. But if you hold me now, let me into your heart.
Alright, hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. This is going to be a daily thoughts. This is up on my website, TheAddictMom.Online. There's going to be like a little short version on YouTube kind of explaining just a little bit, maybe, you know, because my daily thoughts, I don't want to be censored. I don't want what I can and cannot say, so that's why my daily thoughts are on my website. So if you're not there yet, head on over to my website. If you're on my website, thank you for being here. So I'm in the middle, well, not in the middle, I actually just started my Hep C medicine yesterday. Today will be my second dose. It's May 29th. I'm starting a series filming my Hep C journey for my treatment, and I'm going to be checking in every day, and I'm going to configure 7 videos once a week for a weekly update. But y'all will see in that video 7, you know, different frames of me stating how I feel every day, and you know, just my progress along the way. I don't want to say I'm nervous about letting people know. I'm afraid of people, you know, mistaking what I'm opening up to the world as me looking for sympathy, or I know I got Hep C from my IV drug use. I know that, and I accept responsibility, and I just don't want people sending hate my way because of how I got it. When you're an addict, you run the risk of getting multiple diseases and illnesses, especially if you are an IV user. That just opens the door to so many illnesses, STDs, sicknesses, viruses, bacterial infections, heart issues, heart infections, blood infections, just different toxicities that you introduce into your body when you're an IV user, especially when you don't have fresh needles, which I would say most addicts who use IV don't have a fresh needle every single time they shoot up. So we know the risk. I mean, most addicts know the risk. Some genuinely don't. Some genuinely are ignorant to it. And that's why I'm doing these videos. That's why I'm filming myself, because I want to educate people, and I want people to see you can get it. It can happen to you, even if you use a fresh needle every time, because you don't know where you're getting your drugs from. You have no idea where that bag came from, and you don't know what they're putting up in there. They could be using a syringe themselves to mix it before it's dried into a powder, and that needle could be used over and over again to measure out certain liquids to cook it down with, and you never know. The spoons that they use, you never know. So I just want to educate people and open the door for discussion. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to finish up the editing for my intro video for my Hep C. That will be up on June 2nd. I haven't done a daily thoughts video in a few days, just because I haven't really had much to talk. I do upload to TikTok a lot, so follow me on TikTok, The Addict Mom. So I made a post on my Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. It's under Nikki Bell or The Addict Mom, but my personal page is Nikki Bell. And I've been having dreams for a little over a year over a person. My ex-boyfriend died in August 2010. I never talk about him because it was very traumatic how it happened. Many people don't know how it happened. People know what the cops say, but they don't know what I know. And I don't know if I'll ever release what I know. My family, like my parents do, but I don't know if I'll ever release it like in a video, because it's very traumatic what happened. And what happened to me the night that he died and the days leading up to it were very traumatic. And I never want to paint him in a bad picture, and I never want to change people's feelings of him. So I say that to say this. How he died, I view it as a different way than what other people view it. The police and a few people who were close to him say it was accidental. I, on the other hand, feel differently because of what happened to me that night and the days leading up to it. Because of that, I have been tormented since the day we found out he was dead, with extreme guilt and just trauma. After he died, I lost all sanity. I lost all my sanity. I had no sanity left. I had no will left. Will to live, will to try, will to carry on. I didn't care what happened to me. Quite literally, I would be with random men doing God knows what with God knows who all over up and down the coast of Florida. I would go out at night and I would just be gone for days. I don't even remember things I would do. I don't remember because I would be so high and so drunk. I did not care what happened to me. I put myself in danger many, many times in many, many ways. I don't know how I never got arrested, because I did the most reckless, stupid, irresponsible shit, and somehow I never got arrested during that time. And after his death, I ended up giving birth, or I got pregnant 3 months after he died by obviously another man. I gave birth exactly 13 months after he died. I gave birth to my daughter, and that was very traumatic. I had a lot of guilt because all he ever wanted with me was a family, but I was really young. When he died, I was 19. We got together when I was 16 and he was 20. And I thought I was too young. I didn't want kids when I was 17, 18, 19. I didn't want kids. He did, though. And I felt very guilty, and that guilt has been with me all the way until now. I still deal with the guilt. And the first, I would say probably 5 years after his death, were the hardest. Tried committing suicide many, many times. Luckily, every time somebody found me and either called 911 or performed CPR and found a way to, either revive me with, let's say, Narcan and CPR, or they found me and found ways to get my breathing back up. And I'm very lucky for that. At the time, I didn't see it as lucky. I saw that's let me die, but now I know better. The first 5 years, I would cry myself to sleep every night. I never cried any other time. I would only cry myself at night to sleep. That's it, in my bed. I never cried any other time. I never talked about it. I lost all contact with our friends that we had, the life that he and I made together. I lost all contact with everybody because it was too hard to be around anybody that he knew. If you're watching this and you know me personally and you were friends with him, we haven't been around each other in years, and we haven't spoken maybe on Facebook here and there, but it's just too hard. I couldn't do it, especially one of his best friends. I tried hanging out with him the first few years after he died. I could not do it. They act so much alike, and they would just do the same things, like the same mannerisms, the same words. They would laugh at the same things. Their interests were the same. And I couldn't be around him. It was too hard. And I never dealt with it. I got into treatment in 2017. So 7 years after he died, I got into treatment. And then I got into therapy in 2018. And I talked about it. I'm not in therapy at this moment. I was in therapy for about a year. Well, about 8 months. And I talked about it a little bit. I didn't fully open up. And then I stopped going to therapy in 2019. I'm not in it yet. I want to start getting back into therapy. Because I know it's what's best for me. Because last year, in February of 2020, I started dreaming of him. And I had never dreamt of him before then. I never dreamt of him. And I remember I used to say, like the first, after my daughter was born, I would drive, and I would just drive. I love to drive and listen to music. I love to drive, especially at night with like the windows down, driving on the interstate and just having music going, the windows down. I love driving. And I would drive, and I remember I would be driving and I would just be praying to whatever God there was. Praying to God. And I don't believe in I don't believe in a Christian God. I do believe in a God in the sense of I believe there is somebody guiding me. However, I do believe in fate, and I do believe certain things are meant to happen. But I also believe how I get to that place is my choice. So I believe ultimately, like, big milestones in our life are meant to happen. Like, whatever. Like, I was meant to be where I am today. However I got here, though, those were my choices. I could have taken the back roads to get to wherever my destination is. So that's how I believe. And I believe along the way I'm being guided. I'm being looked over. And that person who does it is my God. And that's how I believe, like, my spirituality, like, comes into play. That's how I see it. And that's cool. So that's my God, okay? So when I say I was praying to God, it's my God, okay? And I remember I would pray to my God, and I would say, please let him talk to me. Please, if he can hear me. And I would be praying to him, if you are there, let me know. If you can hear me, any sign, please let me know. Because he never came to me in my dreams. And I'm very big, how my spirituality is, I am very big on dreams, okay? I believe dreams is like when we are dreaming, it opens our mind and our soul, and it's a gateway for other dimensions, other realities, ones who have crossed over and ones who are not yet in this world. They can communicate with us. That's what I believe, okay? And when you dream of somebody who has died, I believe they're trying to communicate with you for one way or another, depending on the dream, depending on what happens. I believe that's their way of trying to communicate with you and tell you something, or to your way of reaching out to them. And whether or not they respond back to you depends on the dreams, what have you. And all I ever wanted was a dream or a sign that he was there with me. All I wanted was a sign that he wasn't mad at me. And again, that goes back to the days leading up to his death. Things I know that nobody else does. I wanted to make sure he wasn't mad at me. I wanted to make sure he didn't suffer. I wanted to make sure he was in a better place. Are you happier? And I never, as soon as he died, there was no connection. Before he died, he and I, we were always connected. Like, we could be in different places and we knew what was happening with each other. We knew when something was up. And that connection, as soon as he died, it wasn't there. Like, our souls were no longer connected. And I didn't know how to live without my soul connected to his anymore. I didn't know how to live. I didn't know how to go on. I didn't know what to do. So I would pray to my God, please, I need to know that he is still with me. And I never got a sign. Well, I feel I never got a sign. I never saw a sign. If one was sent, I never noticed it. It could have been because my grief was so strong. Because I believe that if your grief and your sadness is so strong, it can be strong enough to block out all signals from departed souls. It can block off all signals from souls that are still here in the world that maybe you have a connection with. I definitely believe grief can blanket your soul and blanket your mind from being open into receiving signals from other wavelengths, other beings, anything like that. And I believe that's what happened to me for so long. Just because he died and I shut off emotionally. Like, there was nothing there. There was nothing in my eyes. People who saw me, my family, they said my eyes were just black. And I have blue eyes. Like, my eyes are blue. And they said my eyes were just black. There was nothing there. There was no hope. There was no light. There was no spark. There was nothing. So years and years and years, I prayed and prayed and prayed. And in 2017, I started treatment. I got a clear mind. I got sober. I got on methadone. I got stable. And in February of 2020, that was the first dream I had of him. And these dreams, every single time is the same thing. I walk into the old apartment that he and I shared. If you know me in real life, you know the apartment. I walk into that apartment. I'm walking down the road, across the street, and up the road from where we used to live in our apartment, there was a corner. There was like the main road, and then there was, like 2 corner stores there. There was a BP and another little store on the other side that would always come and go, different corner stores, different gas stations. And I walk up that road to what it is today, not how it was in 2010. I always walk down that road to how it is today. And I cross the street, and I walk down the road, and I go into the apartment, and he's there. And in the dream, I'm like, whoa, like in my dream, he's dead. Like, he's not here. But I live in that apartment still. And he gets up and he'll come to me, and he says, I'm sorry I was gone. I'm sorry I was gone, but I'm back now. And some things will differ in my dreams. Sometimes in my dreams, there will be other girls, like he will have brought another girl back. He will have brought another girl back with him. And he'll say, I love her, but I love you too. Come with us. And I'll be like, whoa. I'll get really upset, And then other times in the dream, he may say, I'm sorry I was gone, but I'm back now. But I can't be with you. And that'll, be like a stab to my heart. And then other times in the dream, he'll say, I'm sorry I was gone, but I'm back now. We can be together. And only recently, maybe 6 months ago, did I finally hug him. I always, in my dreams, I reach out for him, or I'll run to him. And before I get to him, every single time I wake up, and a few months ago, I finally got to him and we hugged. And in my dream, it was like, in my dream I could smell him. And he smelled the way he used to smell. And he felt the way he used to feel, like his skin. And he would wear the same clothes and his hair. And he wore eyeglasses, and his glasses were the same. And in my dream, since the first time we finally hugged, I have hugged him twice. Like the first time that we hugged, and then since then I've hugged him one other time. And now it's back to when I go to him, I wake up before we actually touch hands. And I am holding on to the dreams of hugging him because I would literally give anything besides my children to be able to hug him again. I would give anything. I would do anything besides giving up my children to see him and to hold him. And these dreams, every time I wake up, whether I've hugged him or not, it hurts so bad. It actually hurts more when I did finally hug him, because I know it's not real. It's not like peaceful. It's not like I'm not happy. It's not closure. It's not like I'm like, oh yeah. No, it's like my heart is breaking all over again, and I don't know what to do when this happens. And when it does happen, I'm like depressed for days after. I am extremely anxious for days after. I don't even want to leave my house for days after. I just want to finish the dream and stay there forever. And I'm saying this, like I'm talking about this today in my daily thoughts, because this was the catalyst to my decade-long spiral. Before he died, I was into drugs, never painkillers. I was into coke, party drugs, meth. I've never drank and I've never smoked like tobacco. I never really smoked weed either, just a few times in my life. I don't like it. But I would really do Molly, ecstasy, coke and meth, Xanax. But I never did painkillers. But after he died, it got out of control. And I know I'm not alone. That's why I'm talking about it. I know I'm not the only one to have lost somebody. And the grief take everything from me. And unless you've been there, and the pain of that is inexplainable, I cannot explain it. I just know using drugs and getting high does not fix anything. I suppressed my pain for so long. I never truly grieved, and I never truly felt the necessary emotions that would allow me to be able to accept his death and move on with the rest of my life. That never happened because I didn't allow myself to. And I'm finally seeing recently, in like the past few months, that it is true that I did not allow myself to grieve. I did not allow myself to accept his death. I didn't allow it because I didn't want it to be true. I've bargained, I've pleaded, I've tried changing my life. I've done everything on my end to bring him back, and I have finally realized he's gone. You know, for the longest time, probably even to this day right now, I probably still have a little bit of this fantasy. I have this dream, this fantasy that he's not dead and that he left because, I don't know, he wanted to start a new life, or maybe people were trying to come after him for something, so he had to run away to save his life and to save mine. But he's not really dead, and he'll come find me one day and rescue me and save me, and everything will be better, and finally be happy again. And I think I'm coming around that that's not going to happen. He's dead, and he's not going to come back for me. He left me. And the last words we ever spoke to each other were not good words. And I'll never get a chance to say how I truly feel. And that's very hard. But I know I'm not alone. There are so many people every single day who fight and argue with their loved ones and say mean things because they think there's always going to be that tomorrow. They think I'll always get to apologize. There's always going to be a tomorrow. They're going to be here later. It's okay. I can take my anger out on them because all I have to do is apologize. I'm here to remind you that tomorrow is not promised. You love someone because not everyone loves someone. Some people have not found that true love. Some people don't have kids, they haven't found that true love. Some people don't have family, they have not found that true love. If you have love in your life and you love someone greatly, whether, I don't care who it is, your kids, your family, siblings, friends, significant other, remember right now, this is your sign that you need to go call them and you need to talk to them and just tell them that you love them. and tell them everything that you've been holding in. Tell them everything that you feel. Everything that you're telling yourself, I'll tell them tomorrow. It's not the right time, I'll tell them tomorrow. Fuck that. Fuck not the right time. It is the right time. If you love someone, tell them. If you cannot live without someone, tell them. If you want to spend forever with someone, tell them. Fuck the right time. The right time is when you feel it. The right time is when you're telling yourself, I love this person. I love their soul. I love their heart. I love their skin. I love them in the blue shirt. I love them in the black shirt. I love their glasses. I love their hair. I love their fingernails. I love their nose. I love their shoes. I love how they look in jeans. I love how they look in cargo pants. I love when they're skateboarding. I love when they walk. I love when they're cooking. I love when they walk the dog. I love when they're washing dishes. I love when they're working on the toilet. I love when they're doing homework. I love when we're sitting on the couch and my feet are over his knees and he's rubbing my legs and he looks over and tell them that, because the feeling when you realize and when you accept that that person is not coming back, I can't even explain it. I can't explain it. And I never would want anyone to ever feel this feeling that I am feeling and that I am stuck with feeling for the rest of my life. This feeling will never go away. I may learn how to cope with it better and I may learn how to live with it, but it will never go away. Ever. We take people for granted because we see them every day. Or we talk to them every day if we don't physically see them. So we take them for granted. I'll see them later on tonight at dinner. No, you won't. You won't. The night he died, I said, I'll see you tomorrow. We can talk tomorrow. I said that to him. I said, you sober up, I sober up, because we had been, partying. We got into a fight and we split up. And I told him, I said, I don't want to be around you whenever we are intoxicated because we will fight and I don't want to fight with you. I did. I said, I love you. I don't want to fight. Come over tomorrow. Because at the time we were not living together. We had lived together before, but I ended up getting my own apartment. But then we were staying at each other's apartment. So it was completely stupid that I even moved out because I thought I was grown. And so we ended up staying at each other's apartment back and forth. It was so stupid. But I said, let's just give each other space. I said, in the morning, let's meet up and talk. Because I don't want to fight. I love you. And I said, we'll meet up tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow. We'll get over this. And he didn't accept that. He did not accept that. And he died. And I never got a chance to tell him how I really felt. And I'm here to tell you that that feeling, you know how it feels when you want to tell someone something, but they're at work and they can't answer their phone? Or they're in class and they can't answer their phone, or you're busy and you can't call because you're busy. I'll call him in 30 minutes. Let me hurry up and get done with this so I can call him. Now imagine that feeling forever. Imagine that feeling of, I need to tell them. But I can't because he's at work. I can't because I'm at work. Oh, I can't. My phone is dead. Let me go charge my phone so I can hurry up and call him and tell him. Imagine that feeling 24/7. Because they're dead and you can't tell them what you need to tell them. That's not a good feeling to have. It's not a fun feeling to have. I think people just need a reminder that people die. Yeah, people know that people die, but it can hit closer than you think at any time. It can be anyone you know at any given time. And if or when it happens, you cannot let that grief control you. I let my grief control me for over a decade. for about a decade, for 10 years. And in the process, not only did I lose my boyfriend, I lost everything in my life over and over and over again because I did not care. I had no will to live, and I am realizing that cannot happen. That's not okay. You cannot put your entire life's happiness onto somebody else. That is not okay, because when they die, when they go away, you will not know how to live. And I have learned that the hard way. You can love someone and give them your whole heart, but it's not wise and it's not okay to put your entire happiness onto that person. They can make you happy. They can make you the happiest you've ever been. But until you learn how to make yourself equally happy, until you learn how to survive equally without that person, it is a recipe for disaster, because eventually that person is not going to be there for one reason or another. And you should tell them how much you love them every day. Tell them every single day if that's how you feel. And at the same time, learn to be happy with yourself and learn how to live without them. Because when you don't have a choice but to live without the one person you thought you would never have to live without, it's easy to not see how close it really is to hitting you. It's easy to say, it won't happen to us. We work out, we're healthy. We don't do drugs, we don't party, we work, we are contributing members to society. Well, death doesn't care. And I let this control me for way too long. And it's time that I stand up and take back my own happiness and take back my control and take back my life. Because as much as I love him, as much as I miss him, and as much as I would do anything to see him again, I have to accept that will never happen. That will never happen. And this is me starting that journey, and I thought I would start documenting it. Because I know I'm not alone, and maybe I can help someone else see what I'm seeing. Maybe someone else can realize what I have realized, and maybe I can prevent someone else or deter someone else from going down the road that I went down because of their pain, and because of their guilt, and because of their self-hatred, because of their anger, because of their resentment. Maybe I can deter someone from going to drugs like I did to numb themselves. Maybe I can help someone feel their emotions. These emotions that you have to feel to heal. There is no way you can heal your soul until you feel the emotions that are arising in your body. You know, these are true emotions. These are real. Everything you're feeling is there for a reason. Don't numb it and don't push them aside. Don't push them down. Let it come up and feel it and express it appropriately. Come on now, don't harm yourself and don't harm other people. And if you feel like you're going to harm yourself or you feel like you're going to harm someone else, reach out for help. It's okay. Go to a hospital. Go to a psychiatric facility and say, hey, I am going to hurt myself. I'm going to hurt someone else. I need help. I'm feeling pain and I need help. It is okay to feel the anger. It's okay that when someone dies, you're mad at them for leaving you. It's okay to be mad at yourself because you never told them how much you love them. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to cry. It is okay to cry every single day for years. You cry. It is okay to cry. Never let someone tell you it's not okay to cry. Never let someone tell you, this is what I've heard a lot, okay? This is what I heard a lot, okay, since my ex have died. And what people would tell me, they would tell me, cry for a minute and let it out. Cry. Cry for a day. Cry for one day. Only allow yourself one day to cry. And then after that one day, you go on with your life and you continue living. You don't keep crying. And I listen to that. And I think what people mean when they tell people that is, don't let your grief overcome you. Don't wallow in your grief. I think that's what people mean when they say only allow yourself 1 hour a day to cry. I think that's what people mean. Don't let your grief overtake you, and don't lay in the bed crying for 24 hours a day, because that can destroy you mentally. I think that's what people mean. But if you need to cry, cry. If you have to cry for 24 hours, cry for 24 hours. That is appropriate. What's not appropriate is harming yourself, losing your job, losing your home, not being able to function. That is when it gets dangerous. But if you can cry and still function, then you cry for as long as you need to cry. You feel those emotions, you feel it, and you release it, man. If you have to, like, I laugh when I do a lot of laughing. I do a lot of inappropriate laughing. I don't cry a lot. Or if I am crying, I will still laugh. And that's how I release my pain, my discomfort, my anxiety, is I laugh. I literally, somebody will be injured, like for real injured, like break a bone can be sticking out, and I will laugh because that's what I do. And as long as I'm not hurting anybody, people used to tell me, don't laugh, that's inappropriate. Well, that's how I release it. Sorry, I'm not, I can still help you up. I'm just going to be laughing while doing it. I mean, I'm still helping you. I'm not harming you any worse. I'm not harming myself. I know it may be kind of weird, but no. You release it the way you need to release it. Don't let someone tell you that you can't cry if you need to cry. Don't let someone tell you, don't be angry. Nah, fuck that. Be angry. Just don't harm yourself and don't harm someone else. And don't lose the functionality of being an adult. Still go to work. If you need to take a day off, but go to work, pay your bills. But if you need to cry while doing those things, then you cry. If you want to laugh. If you need to be angry, you go scream, man. Go into a field and you scream. Take a bat and hit it, man. Hit the ground. Hit a tree. As long as there's no animals, don't hit an animal on the tree. But my point is, feel the emotions. If you have lost a loved one and that grief has sent you in a downward spiral, whether it's drugs or other things, whether it's just you staying in bed for days at a time, unable to get up and work and clean your house and take a shower. Feel what you're feeling, but learn how to function as well. Learn how to live your life without that person and cope with it and accept that they're not coming back. And that's a very hard, scary truth, especially when you are dependent, if you have a codependent relationship. And that is why I say learn to live without them, because that codependency, when they're not there anymore, will be the catalyst of your downfall. And you don't want that. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But when you don't know any better, it's a recipe for disaster. And if I can help somebody, just not go down the road I went down, because they're so sad. Like, just sad, man. Just sad. I know this was a lot. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. I have a lot to say, like I say in a lot of my videos. I have a lot to say, and if you have made it, I appreciate your support. And I hope my words have helped you. Maybe it's brought you some comfort. Maybe it's brought some form of clarity that you're not alone. Because you're not alone, man. You're not alone. And it's taken me so long to realize I'm not alone, and neither are you. People know what you're feeling. That does not help you when you're in the middle of your depression. When you're in the middle of feeling that pain, it does not help you to know you're not alone. But no, hear me, look at me right now, look at me, hear me, you're not alone. I have an email for a reason. I have my website that you're on right now watching this for a reason. I'm here for a reason. Message me. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go because this is a long video, and I appreciate you hearing me, allowing me to talk about what I need to talk about. If you need to talk about what you need to talk about, there are comments down below. And I have a forum actually for discussions and questions and answers. Go up to my page, my menu, go to forum where it says forum, and talk about your feelings, your issues. It's there for a reason. I will respond, other people can respond. I'm opening this for a discussion, a literal discussion. Just write it out. Upload a video, upload audio of you. Talk it out, write it out. When I say I want to talk about stuff, I welcome all of y'all. Talk about it with me because I'm here for you. Remember, make wise choices and stay safe, stay healthy, find recovery, however that looks for you. Everyone recovers differently, and there is no wrong way as long as you are recovering. As long as you are healthy, as long as you are a functioning human being, you're good. Okay? I will see y'all later, and thank you so much for paying attention to me and for listening to me. Okay, bye y'all.